guys?
We're up?
Yes,
Oh.
we just have to, I guess there's one thing.
Oh.
Okay, there's a motion on the board that we have Eric Harper attend a meeting tomorrow. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Come on. Sorry, guys.
No, that's fine.
We're trying to run ahead, but we're behind.
Oh, that's Walt Hill. Good to see you again. Hi.
And we're trying-
Chris Dingle.
Chris, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
One of you ladies want to come up?
Oh, we'll sit here.
Okay.
Okay, and listen.
Commissioner Radcliffe, he's in the hospital, but he wanted to be on speaker phone for
Okay.
this, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And I'm going to assume that... Oh, I forgot that one. Mandy, no decisions were made.
Okay, thank you.
9? You have 9 now?
Oh, yes.
Hi, Tia, this is Brett again. Could we talk to Rodney, please? Thank you. Well, I think we've got
They're extra if you don't have them. Sits on the lawn.
I made copies and then I got the original in the mail. I put the copy in their packet and it's at High Plains Middle. We were looking at the morning.
I'm sorry?
But he's not here anymore.
Did he
Let
get
me
left?
try the nurses and see if...
He escaped.
This is station, this is Amy.
Yes, Amy. Is Rodney Radcliffe still in there?
Yes.
Could we be transferred to his room?
Yes, one moment, please.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, what page did we start off with, guys?
This one?
Okay, I'm not looking up here. Mine doesn't differentiate
Oh,
color very much. Great, put it right up here in the middle.
There's an extra.
Hello.
Rodney, this is Brett. We have High Plains Mental Health here, Walt,
Okay.
and Chris. So we'll just have you listen, and if you have questions, go ahead. Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. This is the High Plains annual report to each of our 20 counties this time of year. Chris Dingle is fairly new staff with us. He does some of our marketing, public education, the website, and he also is going out and meets with individuals, hospital administrators, sheriffs, extension folks in the counties to just make sure that people are getting what they need, collect that information and be the face of High Plains out in the counties. He's not a mental health person by training. In fact, he's done a lot of marketing, radio marketing, sales. In fact, we were talking on the way up. He's done some fertilizer sales out in this area, and so he's kind of a chief cook in bottle world. So he's not a mental health guy like me. So he's been in the real world. The 20 counties in northwest Kansas have an interlocal agreement to establish High Plains Mental Health. That's been in place for a number of years and has, I think, been very successful to have a regional program so that each county doesn't have to have their own mental health department. Really, the two things that we're here to talk to you about are, one, under that interlocal agreement, to show you some utilization of services across the 20 counties, as well as for citizens of your county, and then to follow up on the letter that we sent out about our county funding strategy for 2017. Across all 20 counties, we have seen an increase in the number of patients that are on our books. We see people seems like though we don't have a lot of new people coming in, people are staying in treatment longer. I think as things get more and more difficult, stressful, people want to have that ability to stay connected with us, and so they continue on our books. The county, down at the bottom of the page, county funding across all 20 of our counties has remained pretty steady, which we're very glad, because we can't say the same thing about our state funding over the recent years. You know, we've seen almost $1 million less in state funding, and I don't know what's going to happen this legislative session. We're just waiting and seeing what's going to have to happen in Topeka. One of the things around counties two things around the counties and that we're concerned about and understand the predicament of counties is some of our counties have fairly high oil and gas valuations. I don't know if you have a lot, but you know, Ellis County, Russell County, those counties, Ellis County got hit very hard with a reduction of actual tax revenue from oil, and they are struggling. The proposed tax lid in Topeka, it's being debated last week, and Randall's, in fact, Randall had called me a week before to talk about that, and wanting to know kind of how it impacts us, and obviously we're very concerned. I know KAC did propose a bill that would put in some exemptions to move some things out from under the tax lid, one of which was mental health, but I don't know.
I don't know how it came out.
It had, what I read from last Friday was that the committee has asked KAC and others to try to go negotiate and come up with some kind of compromise language. So I don't know where that'll go, but that's those two things in our area are major concern about our county funding. You turn over to page 3.
This is page 3 of the pie chart. On that one, Rodney?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the most outstanding point I want to make from this page 3 is two things. Last year, Scott Jenkins at the hospital got some grant funding through integration project, and he has put in the additional funds for us to have a one-day-a-week treatment office here in town. That's why the funding jumped up. We have included that as overall county funding so that you all get credit for that, seeing that that was from the county hospital. And the most striking thing I saw in the data was you went from 52 citizens in 2014 being seen for mental health services up to 75. So you saw, I don't think it's just coincidental that 25 increase went along with the same time that we had the office here in the community where people could be seen locally. I think it did make a big difference, and I think that was what we all were hoping, and Scott was hoping that by having services here locally connected with healthcare, people would be more likely to utilize it. So 25 people, in fact, were seen here at the St. Francis office. So a good third of the people seen. So we're very, very glad that that's been well received. And thanks to what Scott was able to do with that grant funding to put in to bump up your total funding to that level that we were able to have that office. In terms of funding, which is on the other handout, it had a yeah. This was a letter that went out to all the counties with what our general funding strategy has been.
Yeah, I got it. I've got it
I
here.
have extras.
He's got better than he was Friday.
Our board decided again this year, as they have many years in the past, to not ask counties for any additional overall funding. That's just not something with the way that the counties have been hit with unfunded mandates and cuts in funding. There's just no way that we can go to the counties and ask for that. So we take that total amount, that same amount that we've had in past years, and then apply the formula that lays out the fair share of funding for each county. Because of,
The difference between what we budgeted for 2016, which, and the needs, which is at 10,741.68, we had talked to to Scott about that, and the next 2 years, that's going to be paid back.
Right.
So that's good.
Right.
Did you know that, Rodney?
No.
Yeah, Scott, when he was in here, we questioned him on the difference, which was 10,741.68. And for the next 2 years, that is going to be taken care of out of a grant.
Excellent.
Yes, so
Well,
that,
then by then we can
Budget.
figure out
right.
how to cost it into our
and I
future
think that was what he
budget.
was. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what we'd understood, and so yeah, that's sufficient to keep that office up here. Robert Fossen is the therapist that comes up here, and seems to be well received, it's being well utilized, so we're very glad to do that. So your funding is right at benchmark when you add in that grant funding, and that's told my finance staff to add that as county funding that goes out and shows for all the counties to see that you all are at that level. So we're very pleased by that. In fact, I was going to stop by, I missed Scott. He was headed out the door when I was headed in, so I thought I'd stop by and visit with him. And I don't know if he's seen this data, but that's pretty impressive to see a 50% increase in services. So I'll stop at that point. See if you have any questions or concerns.
Rodney, do you have any questions or concerns?
No questions, just a compliment for the new program. I think from the standpoint of it being available more readily than it has been, is helpful for the entire community. I had talked to the sheriff about this sometime back, and he thought it was a very, very good idea. So it helps law enforcement in making decisions. So I'm glad we got them here.
Good. And I believe we have maintained the video conference unit at the sheriff's department or at the hospital also, so that we can see people in emergency room 24/7, help make decisions, and we can continue.
Is it the sheriff's?
I think it's at the hospital.
At the hospital?
It's at one or the other.
I think it's at the hospital.
Yeah,
It's at the hospital.
Okay, I didn't know if it was at the sheriff's.
But the sheriff can take folks over. So between those two things, it's a good way to extend out to, which is a county farthest from our main office. But we appreciate your support. We appreciate your dedicated board members who are very reliable attenders. They work with the committee that they're on is the committee that Chris oversees, public education and information. So we thank you very much. If you ever have questions,
Okay.
do you have cards?
I do have cards, and I will be up here in a couple of weeks to meet with community.
And if you put one in Rodney, we're making a pile.
Good.
Okay,
Oh, they're gonna kick me loose in an hour.
good.
But I got a friend coming to run me to Goodland to get my meds, so.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Rodney, would you like to stay on for Margot? She's next.
Yes, I would.
Okay, Margot, come on up. Thank you for what you do. And Rodney, John was here and I forgot to call you, but there's really nothing new. We've got all the information for you.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, Margot's here. Okay, Margot, what do you got?
Hi, Rodney.
Hi.
I'm assuming you're sick.
He's in the hospital.
I've been on my back for a week with pneumonia, so, but I'm going to be free in about an hour.
Well, I hope you get to feeling better.
I am feeling much better, but I'm weak as a cat.
Make sure he takes it easy. Okay, go ahead, Margot.
Well, first off, just let you know that the fair theme this year is the Cheyenne County Fair and All-American Celebration.
Cool.
Yeah, we had 4 good theme ideas, and this is the one that the board voted on and liked the most.
Okay.
And then actually, can I go ahead and call for 10 minutes executive session?
Yeah.
I'm hoping the county attorney will be here. She's
I don't-
outside.
You might ask her then. We talked to her
Oh, she has
about,
court.
yes, we kind of talked to her about what we thought you were going to talk about. So.
Okay.
We'll go, I know, sorry, do you want to make a motion on that? What do you want, legal? If it's what I think it is about, it's probably a legal deal.
Yeah.
Okay? For 10 minutes for legal. Okay? All right. And the time is basically 10:35. Shut that camera off too, also. Start passing.